Before this video starts, what country are you from, or what country are you watching this video from? Let me know with a comment down below. Moza Racing has been the talk of the town in sim racing. Since their appearance out of thin air a little over a year ago, they've released an entire lineup of sim racing peripherals providing solid options for both entry and high-end sim racing enthusiasts. Nowadays, they have quite the lineup of sim racing equipment, which could get confusing for those who just want to know what's best for them without diving into all the specifics. So in this video, I'll be going over all of Moza Racing's current products, most of which I've already reviewed, and for your convenience, a link to every single one of them along with my review will be in the video description. Starting with the wheelbase, this will of course be the actual motor which provides the feedback and resistance you feel in game. All of Moza Racing's wheelbases are direct drive, which long story short is what you want. It's also important to mention that as of the making of this video, all of Moza Racing's products will only work on PC, not on consoles. At $300, the Moza R5 is not only the company's cheapest wheelbase, but one of the least expensive direct drive systems in the whole market. The R5 packs 5.5Nm of force, which is a significant step up from something like the Logic G29 or Thrustmaster T150, and is of extremely small size and weight, making it ideal for those who aren't using it on a dedicated cockpit or wheel stand. Despite its entry-level price tag, the R5 does not have any significant drawbacks compared to its higher-end counterparts, as it's still constructed from aluminum alloy, features the praised Moza quick release, and is compatible with almost all of the products in the Moza ecosystem. Of course, there is a catch though. At $300, you'll still need to purchase a steering wheel and a set of pedals separately, but thankfully that's where the R5 bundle comes in. For only $200 more, you'll have everything you'll need to get into sim racing with fairly capable equipment. The bundle packs the R5 wheelbase along with the leather ES wheel, SRP light pedals, and even a table clamp for you to hook this up to a desk or flat surface. This is probably one of the best choices for beginners who don't want to spend hundreds on a dedicated cockpit, but do want capable and realistic equipment to race online. This is a reminder that I have separate, far more in-depth reviews on lots of these products, and they can be found in the video description. The Moza Racing R9 is my personal favorite wheelbase from the company. Slightly bigger and heavier than the R5, the R9 will exert up to 9Nm of force, which for me is right around the sweet spot, giving me the force and resistance I like while increasing the amount of fidelity and detail felt on track. No bundle is currently offered with the R9, which means that for $440, you'll still be needing to purchase other accessories separately though. If you want even more performance, the recently released Moza R12 will deliver, you guessed it, 12Nm of peak force, which from my experience should be more than enough for most people. Its casing and overall look are nearly indistinguishable from the R9, but for this type of power, I would highly recommend mounting it on a dedicated cockpit or a wheel stand. The R12 comes in at $590, making a significant jump over the R9, but potentially worth it for those who prefer consistently high resistance and feedback. Now for those with big wrists, the R16 could be for you, and suddenly you get a completely different looking wheelbase from Moza. Gone are the days of a little black cube, as now you get a meticulously crafted, beautifully sculpted wheelbase, which can even be fitted with stickers? You don't have to have a PhD to guess that the R16 comes with 16Nm of peak force, but more than just that, it has compatibility with the RM digital dashboard, which I'll touch upon later, and has a higher encoder resolution for even more precision. In my personal opinion though, the R16, despite its cool appearance and high performance, was overkill for me, but if you want this kind of power, it can be yours for $800. Now if you have massive wrists, but don't want them to be functional, you can buy the R21 for $1,000. Moving on to the wheels. The Moza Racing CSV2 is a generic ground wheel suitable for pretty much all types of driving. It's of good size at 13 inches in diameter, and despite it not looking too special, is of nice quality. For $260, you get forged carbon fiber paddle shifters, aluminum alloy faceplate, 6 buttons, 2 joysticks, 2 rotary encoders, and an RGB rev indicator. The wheel is also wrapped in synthetic leather and feels good on the hands. It's important to note that some of the wheels include V2 in the name. All that means is that they've been updated from their original models, which are no longer offered. Moving on, the Moza RS V2 is the big brother to the CS, as it's essentially the same wheel but with souped up looks. Still a 13-inch round wheel, the RS features a forged carbon fiber faceplate, genuine leather, backlit mechanical buttons, and both carbon fiber clutch and magnetic paddle shifters. These upgrades do come at a cost though, as the RS V2 retails for $440, making it a near $200 difference. Similar in price but completely different in design, the Moza GS V2 GT delivers a GT style wheel with a high-end look and feel. Fitted with a carbon fiber faceplate, clutch and magnetic paddle shifters on the back, as well as an RGB telemetry display and more buttons and dials than you know what to do with, this is one of Moza Racing's most premium wheels. The V1 version of this wheel features Alcantara grips and retails for $420, whereas the V2 version features microfiber leather grips and jumps up to $470. I've personally owned the V1 and I enjoyed it a lot. I mentioned how the GS was one of Moza's most premium wheels, but what is the most premium wheel? Well, that would be the Moza FSR Formula wheel, which retails at a staggering $650. Fitted with a 4.3-inch digital dash on the wheel, perforated leather grips, carbon fiber faceplate, backlit buttons, RGB telemetry, and carbon fiber clutch and magnetic paddle shifters, it is supposedly very nice. I say supposedly because I've never actually had it. Moza, send me one. On the most opposite side of the spectrum, the Moza ES wheel is the cheapest and lowest entry offering made by the company, and it retails for only $130. It's made of a small size at 11 inches in diameter, making it only marginally bigger than the Logitech G29, for example. Worse feeling buttons and more cheap materials are seen on this wheel, but it's not terrible for beginners. Wrapped in synthetic leather, fitted with 22 buttons, aluminum alloy faceplate, paddle shifters, and a small telemetry display, it's still quite commendable for its price point. Notably, some modifications can be made to this wheel, but more on that soon. Now, ending off the wheels, the Moza KS is the newest offering by Moza, and it comes in at $280. It's a 300mm butterfly style GT wheel with rubber grips, carbon fiber reinforced composites for the body, illuminated buttons, clutch and paddle shifters, and even a rev indicator. This is one of those that I've never used, but it certainly looks cool on paper.
You got a boyfriend,
and his name is John C.
Now moving on to the pedals, Moza Racing currently offers one entry-level and one high-end set. The Moza CRP are going to be the high-end model, coming in at $500, and it includes 3 pedals with a full aluminum alloy construction. The clutch has a 3-stage mechanism to give it a semi-realistic feeling, and it, along with the throttle, use Hall effect sensors to register input. The brake, on the other hand, features a load cell sensor for maximum precision. Apart from the construction and look of these pedals, the big selling point will be their vast adjustability, but you can learn more about that in my review. The Moza SRP pedals are going to be the entry-level pedal set and come in different variants. Starting off with the SRP lights. These can only be bought alongside the R5 bundle, and they include only a Hall effect brake and throttle, with the option to purchase a clutch for $40. The standard SRPs retail for $160 and include a throttle with a 100kg load cell brake. Again, you are able to purchase a clutch pedal separately for those. The Moza SRPs will be significantly cheaper than the high-end CRPs due to their appearance, build quality, adjustability limitations, and of course limitations in performance and realism. Regardless, they are still a commendable option for entry-level users. Apart from wheelbases, wheels, and pedals, Moza Racing also offers 2 digital dash displays. The high-end RM display retails for $300 and can only be used on the R16 and R21 wheelbases, as it connects directly onto those. It's a 5-inch display with a 60Hz refresh rate, but is limited in the sense that it will only work with Moza telemetry displays, which means that it cannot be used with third-party software like SimHub for ultimate customization. Overall, this is a very niche product only intended for those who like to strain their wrists. For $160, the CM digital dash display is essentially the same thing, except this one is designed to work with only the Moza R5, R9, and R12 wheelbases.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Finally, moving on to the accessories, this is the part that I've been dreading because there are so many, but most of which you probably didn't know about. The 12-inch round wheel mod for the Moza ES wheel increases the size of the rim from its original 11 to 12 inches while maintaining an aluminum faceplate, microfiber leather grips, and extends the paddle shifters for easy reach. The ES Formula wheel mod is essentially the same thing, except it transforms the original 11-inch ES wheel to a Formula style rim. The Moza HGP shifter is the company's only 7-speed H-pattern shifter. It's made from a full metal body, allows for interchangeable knobs, and is offered for only $150. Often seen alongside the HGP shifter is the HBP handbrake. Okay, pause. Does anybody know how they come up with these names? Anyway, the HBP handbrake comes in at $100, is made from a full aluminum body, and can be mounted in a rally or traditional position. Don't have a dedicated cockpit but still want to use a shifter or handbrake? That's where the $30 shifter/handbrake table comes in. I bet you couldn't have figured that one out yourself. The Moza Universal Hub connects the KS steering wheel, FSR Formula wheel, and SRP light pedals directly onto a PC. This will allow you to use those modes of rims on certain other wheelbases from other companies. The R5 40mm to 66mm adapter plate allows you to mount your Moza R5 to cockpits with more traditional 66mm hard mounting patterns. Now an interesting one, the 200mm Moza extension rod will work with the R9, R16, and R21 wheelbases and will allow you to have the wheelbase mounted significantly further away from the wheel for added realism. This seems interesting, although finding a way to fit this onto your sim racing setup sounds like a massive headache. The performance kit for the R5 bundle gives added customization to your SRP light brake pedal by providing springs and damping blocks to provide higher resistance and to give a more progressive and realistic pedal feel. This performance kit will only work on the SRP light, not the load cell SRPs. If you have the load cell SRP but want more customization for the brake, that's what the SRP accessory kit is for, as it provides 2 springs and 1 damper for an additional $15. The Moza quick release adapter is a big one, as it will allow you to use several third-party wheel rims with a Moza wheelbase. Importantly though, you will lose the button functionality from your third-party rims. The Moza table clamp will allow you to mount a Moza wheelbase to a table. I bet you couldn't have guessed that one either. Finally, the Moza E-Stop serves as an emergency cutoff switch which immediately shuts off your wheelbase in case it starts acting crazy and spinning out of control. Most people usually just buy these because it looks cool on their rig though. And that's all of the current sim racing products in Moza Racing's lineup. This video took years to make, so leave a like, subscribe if you want, and as always, have a fantastic rest of your day.